All right, here we are. Welcome, Simulator Sundays. Random person, hello to you. Not very random, having your name as random person. Talking to you in Discord on the Mateo Community server to Grumpy here. And of course, Nick's the first one in today. How's everybody doing? We're here. We are actually on the Mateo Community server. But as you know, those of you that are here often, there's not a whole lot of traffic here on Sundays. One reason that I like to do the streams. There's only two of us right now on the server. And he's in La Mirada, 041. That might be... No, that's Porphyry. One of my other yards. That's... he's right over here somewhere, running off Porphyry. So we're in Malabar. We got a whole bunch. Hey, Mike, what up, my friend? Welcome. So let's see. Let me do a quick audio check. Yep, we're good. We had last week off. We were going out of town for work, and we're back. So we're back to our normal Sunday schedule as long as I can not have to travel on Sundays, which I don't like. And then, of course, we do Twitch on Wednesday nights, but we do baseball. We don't, Super Mega Baseball. We don't do same kind of professional baseball stuff. We do funny baseball stuff where we commentate and play at the same time. That's at 5 p.m. on Wednesdays on Twitch. And here every Sunday, I'm actually 30 minutes early today because I felt like, well, let me just go on there. I might go longer since we missed last week. I normally do a 2-hour stream on Sundays, and this could be 2.5 or more. But we're going to do our best to clean up Malabar here. So those who are not familiar with where we are, this is the Malabar Yard. And so this is ATSF, which is, I don't remember, something Topeka, and then BNSF bought them. But the LAJ Yard is over here. We have my Hobart Yard over here. What's going on here? Oh, we got trains crashing each other here. So we'll delete that one. Otto has screwed up his job today. I was going to clean this out earlier, but I didn't get around to it. I got to get all these intermodals on the road. So you were asking, Grumpy, how trains, you get them to spawn and everything. There's documentation that is very hard to read. And it's just trial and error. So all these trains here we have spawned randomly, but we use that depot's config files and then modified them from there to our liking. This was done years ago. So it takes a long time to get a world populated and to do stuff. Trains here, so we build these in Barstow and drive them here. Players do. Well, because if they go into the yard on the server... let's go take a look at our Barstow Yard right now. Since I work for BNSF here in the server, mostly. I can do anything I want. But we go and look. Looks like all the departure yards are full. So we have trains that do spawn, supply trains, but they're based on the industry config. So this is getting like really deep into the configuration of our server and even single player if you guys have that. This is the receiving yard at Barstow. So we have trains that see the industries and what they need, and they will spawn random cars to fill those industries, and the AI will bring them in and drive them into the receiving yard here where we hump them. So we classify them, and players come and move all these cars and create trains out of them that are going to specific locations. So the question you're asked, how do you get trains to go to places? That's not a simple answer, and it's not a simple thing. It doesn't just happen magically. There's you can use the depot config of a very populated Barstow or very popular Mojave, whatever the config is, and that'll get you going. But anything more than that, you're going to have to really dig deep in those stuff. This train is there's a little blue symbol here. It means this one's not ready to go. Who's running? Frickin' -9s. I turned off that one, but I don't think I can turn these off because I have command of the other locomotives. So this one, if we look here on the symbols, I know this is Chris because it has a -9 in front. So this is a grain train. It's a unit train. And so it came from ROS. And, well, yeah, but so if you want it to look like that, you have to make it look like that. The game will not do it for you. And to ask that question is, unfortunately, it's not a very simple answer. It's, like I said, it took us 2 years to get where we're at now. So nothing's going to happen overnight. How do you do it? That's Mateo, who runs the Discord here in the Mateo Community server that we're talking in. He has videos as well that tells you how he set up one or two of these supply trains. And you can watch those videos and you can get information on how to do that if you so choose. Here's West Colton. So this is the UP side. This is the receiving yard, so the trains pull in here. And again, sometimes these trains come from other locations, driven by players into here, but mostly AI, it goes in there. And then we hump those over here where players, so we'll set it up and then we'll let the AI hump it. And then after it's humped, players put them all together into trains. So I think you're hearing a very common theme that players have to do most of the work here. And it would be even worse on single player because nothing would move unless you did it. AI can't route into all the yards. So AI can route trains in the Colton, West Colton yard and the BNSF Barstow yard. That's it. If you flip a coin, there's 2 or 3 other yards that you might be able to get AI to drive into. Most of the time it can't. And if you don't have the switches aligned, it can't pull through it anyways. So players have to drive those in. And then, of course, if you had a train here and it's going, you look at the cars on how they spawn in from the configuration files. And we'll see that this is what you're talking about, how this has local numbers. These are locals. And that's because we look at the configs of where the players are moving cars in and out of the locals. All this information is in the depotserver.com under the reference materials. You have to look at the maps. You have to look at the trains, the industries. You have to look at all these things in order to understand what all this stuff means. I don't do UP that often, though I know LLP 82 is this local, just like this LYR or the YRY. And then NL2D is the industry on this local. So this is the local, this is the industry. But our configuration pulls those. I just work right over there, by the way. I live right over there. So let me get back to LA where I'm working today. All right, I need to go to San Bernardino, and we're gonna go kind of click some of the tracks so I can spawn there. There we go. So we're back at Hobart. Yeah, you have to spawn a train unless you know how to do the configuration for your single player game. And I can't explain it to you. We don't have enough time this year to explain that to you unless you get into there's a PDF in the user guides that kind of roughly tell you how to do. Like I said, it took us 2 years. It took the Depot server. They've been working on their configuration for over 12 years to get it so that it works the way they want it to. So this isn't just, hey, here's some trains that spawn and go by. You want something that already moves trains in and out? Grab their configuration files from the depotserver.com, put it in your game, and that will have trains spawn in there, but they normally just drive off map. You want them to do other things, and you need to go into the configuration of the configuration or, editor, the industry configuration, and you need to set all this stuff up. This is on the server. I did not set up this stuff. So this is how the server processes, for example, CFR. This is on the YVRN 3351 local, which is out of LAJ. And if you put boxcars, it takes 48 hours and it can do 3 at a time, and it makes empties. After it makes empties, it changes the tag to these other locations. So these are all off map locations. So you have to go into each one of these and configure it, and then you have to go into another portion, the train spawner, which you can't do on our server, by the way, but you can in single player, and you have to tell it, I want this train to randomly spawn these cars. And it's a very tedious process. It will take, if you worked on, 8 hours a day, it would probably take you like 3 or 4 months to get it. So just in like LA area, I don't know. Depends on how motivated you are and how much you learn from the PDFs. Because there's a few people that know how to do it. I've dabbled in it, but it's just too much work. So I let somebody else do it and don't worry about it. That's why I'm on a server, not on single player. One reason. So I hope that answered the question that seemed basic, but it's really complex. This is just a framework. This simulator is a framework, and anything you want to do, you have to tell it to do. All right, so which I tagged these, by the way. So I tagged these locomotives because this is the local that I'm running here at Malabar. But you can change that tag to anything you want. You can just say AFB if you want. Change that. Auto can only route, though, to locations. It can't route to industries, and it can't route to the in-server yards. It can only route down the line. So if you want them to go into yards, Barstow, West Colton, there are only 2 yards that AI can drive into the yards and stop. So that increases complexity there. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff to do here in Malabar. Okay, let's go to the back here of these supply trains that came in. They've been here for a while. So I'm going to take these EXX tankers and deliver them. I got some in JRRs here. JRR is actually, we turn on the track things, you can see that JRR is going over here. So we're going to do a little bit of flat switching here first. Let's get the tankers off. And for reference, I'm going to show you this. So this is the ATSF Malabar map. Again, this is depotserver.com. We see that it's in the San Bernardino sub, which is Los Angeles. And so we are actually on this track. We're right here looking towards the right. So we're going to push stuff back this way, but we are literally here, our 2 engines looking to the right on this map. So these are the industries that we are going to be delivering to, all these industries here. These are track numbers in the yard. So here we go. Let's get our engine, our power, and go up over here and throw our switch so we can drive past it. And yeah, we'll grab this set first because this has all the tankers. This track is clear, so we'll push tankers onto this one. We'll just do a quick sort just to get the tankers out. All right, parking brake off. I'm in gear. Put my little HUD up so I can see my speeds and all that. See, gets a little cluttered with all these things on here, but these cars over here, these have already been processed. So they're ready to go off-site. All right, Once we pass that switch, we'll throw it and we'll come on in reverse. So we're going to go grab these set of cars here. So ANT, those are, ANT is on the other side of these buildings over here. We're not really worried about that, but we'll hold on to this car here. So I'm at 5 miles an hour. I'm good at coupling speed there, so I'll slow her down just a little bit, bring her in nice and slow. By the way, I use a rail driver. So I basically have like a joystick, a flight yoke, if you will, that you would use in Flight Simulator. I have one specifically made for railroading. It's called a rail driver. They're the only ones who make these, unfortunately. And okay, so all these cars are bled out, so that means brakes won't be an issue for her. Let's go see where these end. Fly over here. And so JRR is there. I just want the tankers that are EXX right now. Exxon. EXX. I'm going to release the handbrakes on all cars. Put the handbrakes on these ones specifically. These coil cars here. Now I have EXX. You see them here to the right as well. I'm going to have to peel those out of there. You know what? No, I'm going to take this whole stack towards me. All right, let's go forward. All right, let's look at our HPT. Horsepower per ton, we're on 1.2. This is a heavy load here, but we're just pulling everything so we don't have to drive back as far when we go get the rest of our cars. After we sort these out. I wouldn't need to blow the whistle that much. Like, I'm not going down the road. These people that work here, they know that trains are always coming through, so. All right, let's get back to this. So we're 7.5 miles an hour. I'm gonna start using dynamic brakes here. I am not using MP15s this week because with the heavy as these loads are, I need dynamic brakes. I don't need the power with no braking, so. All right, here comes the end. So let's go ahead and pull or come up pretty heavy on the dynamics. I'll actually handbrake this guy here to help slow us down. Coming to the end of the track. And I will handbrake this, handbrake this, handbrake that, and I'll do one more handbrake. See, we're drifting a bit due to the weight. All right, independent brakes are applied. And now let's see if we can get this thing off here. We're going to do a hand brake test anyways. So I can't even open the coupler. It should be white if I were to, but I'm going to come in reverse and I'm going to test the handbrakes right now to make sure that they'll hold these cars here. So I'm pushing backwards right now, coming back just a little bit. I'm up in notch 2. Go up to notch 3, see if we can get it rolling at all. Notch 4, so it's starting to move. And once it starts rolling a little bit, I'll take off the power. It comes to an immediate stop. So handbrake test complete. I'm going to go ahead and pull forward after releasing the coupler. You know, I use like almost all of them. I use all the sound mods as far as like nothing favorite, but I'll hear, you know, I'm using Heavy Irons MP15 startup sounds and the locomotive sounds. ST40s, I don't remember exactly whose I'm using, but I've grabbed a number of those mods off there, and I do like the way, you know, somebody put one out and I'll listen to it. I'm like, does it sound better than what I already have? And if it is, then I will. There's one of our yard masters, by the way. Gray is with us right now. Sir. All right, so I'm going to ride the cars back here. I have a distance counter up here. I'm going to do a countdown once I get to the spot on this set of tracks here, the ladder, if you will. And as soon as I get to where I want to stop the front of the train, I'll hit a countdown timer so I know where the front of the train is. The enhancement Discord link, by the way, down below. Gotta go to my video here real quick. See, I never finished setting it up. So let's see, range, I'll start it there. We've got just under 1,000 feet. That's good. Coming back 800 some feet now to go. Nice and slow. We got 5 miles an hour and no, oh, you're off the clock. Yeah. So as we're hanging on this one, really, we're going to take a peek from here. 600 and some feet left. To go in the cab here, we can see, let's see, oh, I didn't turn on my lights, did I? Gauge lights. Also, I'm not on any radio channel because I'm in my yard, so I'm not on the main line. Don't need to worry about that. Got 400 feet left. I think this track's about 1,200 foot long or so. If we look at the map, we can find that information. That says 1,700 or so feet. We're only at 1,000, so I do want to clear all the cars here. So let me set some dynamic brakes here, which I probably could just use the locomotive brakes or the independent brake, but I will now go into neutral, put myself on the ground, and now we got to get the coil car that's on here. 2 of them. All right, so this is heavy, so we're going to set a number of handbrakes. Don't need this rolling out of the yard. This yard is on an incline. We got a fair amount. I think we need to go crazy. Also, I'm going to come on back and relieve the pressure. That's not. I can open it now, but I want to test handbrakes as well. I'm going to reverse. And now I'm back here. I'm pushing up against some heavy stuff here. All right. I will go forward and disconnect. Click that switch there. Easy peasy here. All right, now we're gonna go straight to kick onto the next set there. So let's go ahead and bring her back. All right, it's about 9, just about 10 when I kick it off, so that should be good. As long as the cars are bled. Pull forward and go back to our consist here, see if we can get any other anchors out of there. We'll pull forward still. Got a crossing up there. So I'm gonna let this go back just a little bit here, but I gotta watch it. Hit cars loose, you gotta keep an eye on them. Still got a ways, it's going slow. Mr. White got burritos and broken knuckles. That's Sunday. What we're supposed to do on Sundays, right? Burritos and broken. I had, I didn't have it in a burrito, but I had some roasted chicken with some pico on it, and peas. And I just had a couple tortilla chips, corn chips with it. Really good. You're here? Wait, I just saw Gray was here for the chaos. The heart was in the way at the bottom. Hello, Billy Bob. Beer waves back. All right, now that crossing coming up. We have to release the handbrakes. We have some JRR, which is going to go in this track over here. Some ANTs, which is going to go with the other one. So I'm going to cut the ANTs off right now. So this is, we're just basically doing some yard flat switching here. You didn't break knuckles today or this week, did you? Let's see how much track I got to work with. I want to stop no further than here so I don't block the switch. We're good there. We're good there. Oh, you popped 3 today? No, 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 no. How many do you carry in your locomotive, by the way? Not really worried about handbrakes on these now because we're getting light. I will watch it if I need more. I'll throw some handbrakes on. You see how the cars are coming to a rest. You had 2, so you had to wait for somebody to bring 1 out, or 2 out, huh? No, 1 out. And a spare, probably. To bring the van out to you. I've got 4 cars here. Don't really think yeah, I'll kick them. Only 4. We got to get up there, though, more. Oh, like, slow down, hey! Out there hitchhiking kind of thing, huh? Out there at the flares. Sure, you can talk to him on the radio, though. All right, so we're at 10 miles an hour here. That's a little too fast from what I want to do, so I'm going to brakes on here. And those guys, we never put the handbrakes on because they did what they had to do. I put a handbrake on here and then take it off, but I'm going to try so it keeps rolling. Nice, slow movement there. I want it to roll back past this spot. I don't think I'm going to get that. So basically this track's out of service so I can get this moved back, because otherwise my engine will hit it. How many times did it keep going in emergency? Just once, or couldn't get it out? All right, so let's go take a look at what we got here. So we have these guys, anti, turn off the bell. So these are all ANT, so I did something magical there. I got JRR here, but that's okay. I've got these EXX or Exxon guys here in the middle. Here's more ANTs. All right, so I don't want to bury the, where is it at? JRR. So let me go get that JRR now. All right, we're good, all green. We got everything together, just you broke the knuckles and then got all that situated, and then when you started to go again, you blew the air again, huh? Emergency. Well, that was close, but not close enough. But we'll take this JRR with us. And now that means the length that we needed is perfect. It worked out. That sucks. Hey, you're on the clock. Get overtime at all? Yeah, see, that's a little close right there. That tanker should be back just a little bit. And we'll move that here in a second. Yeah, so we're gonna grab these. We got one more track to go. No OT, damn. Gotta work on getting my commercial drone license for work, and I've done some ground school, unofficial ground school through YouTube and stuff, and so I have familiarity with pilot stuff. I am not a pilot. Of course, I've done some of it in Flight Simulator, so I have an idea of stuff. But I'm gonna go to 107. Cool. Is this the one that I wanted? Yeah, that's the one. I don't want to get into what I do here or anything on the channel, but yeah, flying drones for what I do will be simply amazing. All right, we're going to take off the handbrakes and pull forward here. And all these cars are, I want to check anyways, but they're bled out, so I've got no problems with the brakes sticking, as far as I know, unless one has air pressure still bottled up in it. WCD, those ones are going to be over there, just on the other side of these cars. So I have my I don't have my commercial one. I have my recreational trust thing, but that wasn't anything to it. The other one, you know, reading charts and all that, which the apps basically will tell us the weather, so it's fine. Gotta know it. Yep, 107. That's my next venture. All right, so DCC, we're not going to take that one. As a matter of fact, I'm going to handbrake these here. See if I can get them to stop. Get another couple cars here. Should be good there. And then we'll come back to relieve the pressure here. See, it's yellow where it says open coupler. It means you can't unlock it, because if you do, it'll tell you that too much stress force. But now once it's white, then you can click it and then it'll turn green when it's unchecked, or when it's opened and the pin's out, released. Oh, you like it? Well, thank you, sir. The amazing thing of that, well, it was amazing. So I had up here, I had the string line, I had these, I've always had these since version, whatever they came out in, probably 7 or 8. Like they weren't there a long time ago. So those failures have been checked ever since, default, ever since they came out, and I never did anything with it. And so we were talking about, Gray and a few of us were talking about, Garrison, obviously, of potential of doing some hill starts for people coming in and do the check ride, or at a minimum, if people wanted to kind of have experience doing that, we would at least be able to advise them correctly, because we would, we have that set in our scenario. Well, I went in to, run it in single player and test it to make sure everything was good and record it so I can give kind of a how-to video on how to do it, which is what you saw. And I did about 10 times, and no matter what I did, I was breaking knuckles. And I did everything the same way where I actually was successful. And it turned out that we saw, because Heavy Iron's like, oh, it's not hard, we should be able to do that. I'm like, I understand, I do it all the time. But now it's not working for me. It's breaking knuckles, and I don't know why. I'm pushing only from the back. Like that last one we did, Mr. White, was where he broke a knuckle going in the tunnel, and then I couldn't get him going. Probably the same reason. But they get coupled here. So when I realized that when he was doing it, he didn't have the string line, he didn't have these three here check marked. I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's it. So he checked them. He was able to successfully get them going, but it was the first time he had the same problem. It was that I-beam car was the first one that was just derailing. And I turned mine off, and I had no problem. So I'm like, okay. So then once I realized, okay, so this was based on the settings, I sought out to record the video the next morning, because it was already too late at night after we talked about it and figured out what the problem was. And when I did it the next morning, I showed exactly, and you'll see in the part in the video where I actually derail and break couplers, and that's from the part where it didn't capture on the recording for whatever reason. I think because I do, Alt F1, Alt F1, or Alt F9, Alt F9 using the NVIDIA software. I'm trying to click this tanker here. So it didn't capture for me. Come on! What the? And so when I completed it successfully, and I even turned on the string line stuff just so I can try to get it to break, and it wasn't doing it anymore. I'm like, what? This is crazy. I had it just, no matter what I did, it was doing it. Now I can't get it to do it for the life of me. If I yanked on the train, I could obviously have done it, but I didn't. I wanted to show you no matter how soft you were doing it, you were going to have a problem, because I kept having that problem. But yeah, it was the center beams. Exactly. All right, so... Oh, we'll put WCD back with these WCDs. So everybody, if you look at the comments on that, everybody's like, you need to go straight to notch 8 on the DPUs. I'm like, no, I don't. I just did it in notch 5. And so, it's done. You don't have to. I just showed you umpteen times that you can do it in notch 5, no problem. So why do I need to go notch 8 when it works? Every time I was putting in notch 8, I was shoving the couplers up the I-beams, and I was having problems. So, the comments are like, if you knew how to handle a train, you would just throw it in notch 8. Like, well, obviously, I'd like to see you do it with the errors selected, because I don't think anybody can. The only way is if you softly do it like I did, then you can get it going without mashing them up. So yeah, I was just befuddled why I couldn't break it once I tried to break it. Now we also found Frisk put a load on those I-beams and then didn't do it with all the errors checked. So it was the fact that they were empty, and the cars around them were empty too, but it was just that they were empty, and they decided that there was because it happened every time. The three of us, every single time it derailed that first I-beam car, every single time. Thank you. Get this shoved back out of the way here. And we're not interested in these right now. But yeah, that's why I did that video, so that because apparently some people coming from Bakersfield will stop there, and it's, you know, the biggest problem is that I found is that when the server restarts, you know, all the cars, it might be when we relinquish too. I don't think it is when you relinquish. I think whatever handbrakes you set is, but when you grab a train after server starts, you know, all the airlines are disconnected, they're all bled out, and all the handbrakes are applied. So when you're on a hill and all the handbrakes are applied, you're like, okay, now what? You know, because you release the handbrakes without doing anything else, you're breaking knuckles immediately. I know, because I did it like 20 times. All right, this is the cut that I want here. Oh, I got 2 on the rear. Yeah, it figures. Let's see how much room I got behind. Oh, I got plenty of room. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna take these Exxon tankers. I'm gonna pull forward. Handbrakes off. Yeah, it is a pretty tough spot. How long do you keep a train at one speed? Don't know what you mean by the... I'm in the yard. So I can go up to 15 miles an hour in the yard. If I'm on the main line, you have speed limits. You have maximum speed limit. And then you have speed limits in areas, temporary, permanent temporary speed limits that dictate how fast you can go. Right. It's a server restart. Because I'll set handbrakes on the locomotives and then I relinquish, and just those have the handbrakes on them, I think. So I've never seen it any other way. Those observant will know that I did not whistle before going through the crossing, but it's okay. If you need to stay at 40, well, you need to stay at whatever the speed limit is for the area. The area has changed. You look at this map here, and we look on the mainline stuff, right? So if you're on the mainline, these yellow symbols are the speed limits for the direction you're going. And then green means you're allowed to go the full track speed, which for freight trains is 50 miles an hour for freight. You're in an intermodal, which is the ones that have the containers on them, or you're in a, it's intermodal, it's passenger. There was one other one, I can't remember what the other one is, but you can go up to 70 miles an hour as long as the speed limit isn't reduced in that area. If you have this green flag right here, and you're going from right to left, so you're headed westbound, you're at a 40 through this zone, and then you'll see when you can go back to normal track speed with the green. Then when you get here, you have to be at 50. And so you get 1 mile before that will tell you, there'll be a sign that's at 45-degree angle that's saying, hey, 1 mile, this is your speed limit you need to be at. And again, all this information is on the depotserver.com. They have the reference material, these maps that I'm using, configuration files for basic for everyone. All that information, depotserver.com. You should go. They also have a forums that you can join, and some people will be willing to help you. But again, it's the deeper you go with trying to reconfigure the game, the more on your own you're going to have to be, because nobody has that sort of time to explain in depth the months and years that it takes to set these up. For example, on our server, we often get, how do you set up your own server? The simple answer is figure it out. There's documentation in the game, but we're hosting a server. We've done all the work. Just to say how to set up a server, it's not a simple answer. You fire up the game is the simple answer. You fire it up, you say server. But you know, people who just say, hey, how do you set up a server? Most of those people aren't willing to go beyond that. So they're not willing to do what it takes to figure out more than that. So you just say, you got to figure it out. Because if you want to do a server, there's routers, you know, firewalls, all kinds of other things you're dealing with rather than just run it. Yeah, this is a simulator, so it's very complex, you know. Why we love it so much. The physics of this game are pretty damn accurate from my understanding of not being a real railroader. But we have some here. Let's see. I thought I was just pulling. I went a little too far. I was chatting and pulled too much of the cars out here. So let's come on back. Because I'm pretty far away. I'm like way over here around the corner. And not, these cars are going right here, but there's not any room for them. See what I did there? See. Cruise control? We don't use cruise control unless you're trying to maintain a slow speed. You can use a slow speed setting. I've never done it because usually that's for like humping. That's going 2 miles an hour. So we don't cruise control. We watch our, you know, I'm doing something specific, which is yard work. So if you're in here, you know, you're always adjusting your power to maintain the speed that you need to maintain. Or you pass what you're trying to do, and then next thing you know, you got to back up. So yeah, there is no cruise control on trains. There is, but it's used at very slow speed. Because you have an alerter that if you're in the cab and you're moving, depending on the speed that you're moving, if you don't answer the alerter, it starts getting louder and louder and louder, and it'll throw the emergency brakes on you because you didn't answer it, so it thinks you died. And you have what Mr. White experienced a couple times a day. You blow all the air out, and then you can't go nowhere because your wheels are stuck. Air brakes work much differently on trains than they do on like trucks or cars too. Uses air to push the brakes down. It uses air to pull the brakes up. All right, getting to a point here where I got my tankers getting close. Yeah, you're talking about the cruise control, but what's the max speed? Or cruise control. And why would you do cruise control though? You're having to make speed adjustments all the time. By the time you get up to speed, it's time to slow down, no matter where you go. And if you're going up the Cone Pass or something, you're in notch 8 and you can only do like 20 miles an hour anyways because you can't get faster. And if you're going downhill, then you're on the brakes and adjusting your brakes and dynamic brakes. Yeah, PTC was giving you a run for your money. That's how you earn your money, you know, deal with those kind of problems. Otherwise, anybody could drive trains just like cars. All right, let's bring this thing to a stop. I'll put the handbrakes on these two guys. There's quite a few cars in here. They're loaded. You can tell they're loaded because they're red, by the way. The symbols above them. So we've already been going for almost an hour, and all we did was move over a couple cars. So everything with trains takes forever. What's up, Dawson? Do I know what clearance points are? You're talking about for the right here on the switches? All right, we're going to go to those tankers. Those cars back here, I know those ones are. Which cars are in the foul? The ones I just moved back here? Be about here, I believe, somewhere in there. All right, so we got about another 8 or so tankers. Here we got room behind us. We'll set up our switch over here as well. Okay, so I got 2 still there. I grabbed the wrong cut last time. I need these 2 here. And that should be all the Exxon tankers there. All right, let's trying to get to handbrake. A couple handbrakes on here. And it's 4. Let's see what happens. Trying to go notch 4. The rail driver's not paying attention. All right. Ah, I missed it. Black before I can get on there. Well, I'm not a real engineer, so you're looking for that. But a 3-step is you're in neutral, you're off the throttle, and you turn gen field off. It's either gen field or control. I think it's gen field. I will not be doing a 3-step in here. The simulator. Nobody will get hurt. Promise. It's just the throttle on the rail driver is just. I already did the bread clip thing and it worked somewhat. Very sensitive because it's loose. I don't know if I have the room for like a whole control stand. So I'm going to grab this cut to get the Exxon cars off. All right, let's pull forward, get the Exxon cars off, and then we can go deliver those. And we're going right there. Is there any? See, I don't remember if there were any in here or not. Nope. Just those A&T cars for the rest of this one. A&T is right around the corner over here. Right there. Pretty sure. It's only 7 inches wide by 22 inches long. But I use my desk for other things too. A full-size desk, but all right. Get on the ground and let's wait for this. Do some dynamics here. I wasn't all the way stopped. All right, we're coming back. Oh, on my desk? Yeah, there's lots of other stuff. At least I'm not driving an Xbox controller. Then. Right, so I'm going to push this back just a little bit here. Then I will lose these other cars. So this is JRR. All right, let me see if I can get up higher. Put some handbrakes on here. Comes the slack. I don't think this was. Yeah, that's DCC. Went around the corner. All right. Open a coupler and let's get it out of here. All right, so JRR. Looking to see if there's more here. JRR is actually going here, but I have to flip everything around. Like to not lock myself out here, so I will put these right here. Yep. My hand slipped off. Reverser there. So we're pretty much ready to go deliver these Exxon ones as soon as I get these cars off. Arco's already fallen asleep. Last year I used to fall asleep to the Madden because of music. And so those are, I already have 3 of them up. Those are coming out in August. Preseason. Finished third preseason game this morning. Started a little bit earlier today too, Arco, so we can do something after if you want. We got to go mow some fields. We'll have to pull those off and then come from the other direction to get those JRRs over there. What's going on, Pothole? Yeah, I started a little earlier today. I started an hour ago. WCD, I think that's going right next to where these Exxon ones are going. To stop and sort these now where I have them out. I get this guy out. Hello, Frisk. Frisky. All right. Put a bunch of handbrakes on here. See how it reacts. Okay, so I got all the Exxon cars off. Up, recoupled. I don't need notch 7. Come on. All right, well, I'm glad your dad's having a happy birthday so you could celebrate it. Where am I going? Going to here with this WCD car. I saw some more somewhere else. I don't remember where they went. But I want to get this ANT out of here and throw that with this one. Oh, there's some more WCs there. No, I'm going to this one. All right, so I got WCD, and then ANT is going to be going with that one. Put the JRR back with the other ones. It's going to be mixed in though. What are these ones? Oh, those are outbounds. Okay, so I got more WCDs. I don't know how much room I have though. Okay, let's take a look. Like 2 cars. Got way more than that here. Have to hang on to them, I guess. They're all in a row, so that'll work. Kill off these other ones. Gotta get it back out of the way here. I'm looking to peel off this one, and that coil car there. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push on a little bit, make sure they stop rolling. All right, let's go the other way. So ANT's coming off to here, so I already got that switch set. The other ones I'll put here temporarily. Pass this switch and then we'll reverse. Isn't it nice to be able to go to the liquor store and or package store, whatever you have there, and buy alcohol now? We'll push this back out of the way here. There's that other JRR here somewhere. There it is, right next to me. I'm going to leave the DCC on it for now. It's coming on back still. On to, I think we might need another one. Okay, so JRR, we're gonna pull that one off. Yep. Isn't quick enough. We'll slide this over one, and then we got these WCDs that be able to push all of them back. I've got other cars up by the lead that I'll just deal with after. There's, yeah, JRR. Put that one on there. Tell these to the WCD. Okay, so we'll get this off. And then we'll try to push this back a little bit to clear it, clear the switches. Then I'll these WCDs up together and push all these back. There we go. Let's see. Get up high here so I can. The mouse is like not grabbing the cars when I go to click on them and do the handbrakes. And all I got to do is clear that switch 2 cars and shove the rest back. Now there are some tankers already there, and I think at the WCD there were some there as well, so I'll pick those on the way out, I think. Caught up with the UP 7606. You're driving down the road and you caught up to him. I think I have what? One more car that's, I don't know which one that is. I have to look at it. I think it's fine. I'll just hang on to it. All right, got all the handbrakes off and all the cars. Let's see what I got here. ASL, HPC, another JRR up here. All right, go to the back. I'll ride this one back. The reefers are being loud. There's HPCs right there. So on the way back up, I can, I don't know, maybe drop. No, because then I have to go all the way around. All right, so I've already lined all the switches up for Exxon, by the way. We're going to go back through here, and then we are going this way. There's those other cars weren't here the last time I checked this out, so these are all San Diego. So we're going to... San Diego cars we're splitting these days on the Mateo Community server because we have them come straight out of like, La Mirada or free, depending on which way they go. That way they can just go to San Diego from there instead of going all the way back to Barstow. So those cars are all processed. There's probably too many. I'm going to have to deal with those now. I'll do half and half. Pull the bells out and then bells and whistles. Put the bells on the San Diegos just to get them out of the way. Where are we going here? And that's lined up. Lined up there. And it's just a little bit of a slow track back here. Give it a little bit more power here. A little bit of flat switching that we did and got these things ready to deliver. I think by the time we're done here, it's probably close to an hour and a half. Although we did run over to Barstow when we first started to show you Barstow and stuff. I'm in Malabar right now, the San Bernardino sub. Right, let's see. So here's Hobart, and so I'm just down here off BNSF 2. And then right down here, so Amtrak's up here kind of thing. The Malabar's right here off of this main 2. I didn't get it. There we go. Got a little ways to go back, and when we get there, as I said, I'm going to get those Bell 3 or 4 tankers, pull them, push them over at the San Diego ones. I got to keep San Diego separate, but I'm going to use them for now. I've been to Kansas City in a long time. I just came back from, I was in Dallas, Fort Worth this last week. I got out there just before the floods came. A little bit on that Thursday morning. Nothing like it did on Friday, though, is what I'm hearing on the news. Thursday night, Friday. BNSF actually was at they had some sort of party at the hotel we were in, the Gaylord Texan. They had a bar rented out or whatever. So again, we'll back into the other tankers that are there, pull them forward, shift them over a track. Then we might need to pull forward and slide all those over, again, another track. See what I'm almost certain we may have too many too. I think that industry can hold 20, 24. Oh, it was 11 or 12 per track that I can get in there. Probably put out a flagman there too as you're backing up. If you're doing it for real. Flares, I don't think you do flares, it's the flag. You just walk with the back of the train. We're in orbit mode, so gonna do the whole circle. Started half an hour early because I'm getting a case of the yawns already. Like Arco does. Fell asleep the moment he got in here. We left you that field too, Arco, the potato field. We'd done most of the other work. Figure when it's time to harvest, you can use the big the American harvester instead of the European one. Not too early for yawns. It's almost bedtime. 5 p.m. Another 3 hours. All right. I finished planting the oats and stuff in the snow. Only 3 cars here. Cool. What I did was come off the throttle there, and very nice couple there. All right. Handbrake's off, and we're going to pull forward and slide these guys over. The tricky thing is when we do go back here, we don't want to slam into that bumper back there. For the server's sake, we don't want to hit it. If you hit it too hard, the server could crash. Cars could disappear. Usually cars disappear when the wheels fall off the track, so like not on the edge of it, but when they completely, there's nothing in the back, the wheels touch the ground and not touching any part of the rail anymore. I'm going to pull forward. I'm going to move these now over onto this rail here. Okay. I'll get rid of these, and then I'm going to shove these anchors back. Tag for Cajon. You want to go, wait, for, if you want to tag them for West Colton, WC is the UP symbol for West Colton. Dale broke it. Doesn't really break much. I think he plays out in like Bakersfield, Fresno area most of the time anyways, doesn't he? I haven't really seen him down here in LA too often. You can create trains on single player all you want. It's like, and then tag them whatever you want. You said you didn't want to do that every time you came in the game. So yeah, that's a more complex operation. He breaks his trains all the time. Right, switch is good. So we're going to go on the outside track here. I put these in first because they're going to go up against the other outbounds, and then San Diego are going to split off of the rest of them. Yeah, the same ones will spawn every time you go in, right? Yeah. What I was explaining, however you set up your world, every time you spawn in, they'll same trains will be there. They'll spawn in. All right, let's bring her to her stop here. Yeah, we're good there. Now let's pull forward and we'll reverse back into the track where to drop these off. We'll get these into here, and then we'll yank those out and put them with these San Diegos. Bring her to her stop. And we're coming back. All right, glad you're having fun watching. I mean, it's fun to do these things too. I'm always learning or trying to. There's just so much stuff going on. As I said, I don't do this professionally, so I just have fun doing it, you know. The comfort of my own house. I don't have to stay up late nights and stuck on the main lines like some of people that are in here do. They're getting paid to do it. If you think about it like this too, that people would do this in real life and then they play this simulator. I think that should say something to simulator, just like some pilots do flight simulator, or the other one. I can't. What's the other one? Something 12. whatever the other version is. All right, so we got about, I don't know, good 7, 8 to go. Coming up on about 5, I'm going to start slowing down here. Again, I don't want to hit that bumper too hard. I'm doing 7 miles an hour now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to go, plus 1, so 7. You do want to keep an eye on. Probably want to stop about here. Give myself a little room for slack and stuff. Or American Truck Simulator. Is that like driving a big rig? Oh, don't worry about caps. We're caps friendly here. Everybody loves yelling. I mean, it kind of is like driving, but it's not. Same time, I guess, just same as all these. When I do ATS, I don't do it anything. I drive it like I'm like I've rented those vehicles. There's no can't get in trouble for. Heck, I jumped the. You have the roundabouts. I jump the middles of them sometimes. See how much air I can get. I mean, what the game's for. So I'm going to put a handbrake on the rear here just to help me out a little bit. It'll go on. So it's just one handbrake. So you're probably not supposed to push them when handbrake's on, but I don't want to hit this too hard and crash the server, so there's a handbrake on. See if we can get it stopped about there. For the American Truck Simulator, I literally use an Xbox controller because for me, the realism isn't... I don't want to have to clear my desk off, put a steering wheel every time I want to just play it real quick. If they have Farm Sim, I use the Xbox controller for that too. Let's see. That's a little tight there. I'm actually gonna cut it here though. That should be good. We come back and just tap it a little bit. I have handbrakes on behind me, so here comes the slack. Now I'm going to need to pull forward, grab these San Diego cars, and pull them all the way, put them with these bells. About 3/4 to half car to go. No, I don't need 7. All right, so we got, what, 3 cars or so? Grab these, pull them out, and then put these in their place. Almost there. A bit more. All right, pull forward, and then we're going downhill, so I gotta be careful of that this thing doesn't get too far out from me. Yeah, and all these sandy, so on this server, on the Mateo Community server, all these, we've decided that we're going to keep the San Diego's cars just down here in the LA area, because it's, instead of sending them always to Barstow and then having the big cut of San Diego cars come right past all these yards down here, we'll just put them in the yards here, collect them, throw them on a train to get them off map down to San Diego. If Run 8 ever makes that connection to San Diego, then we can drive them there, but for now it just goes off map. The orange sub, and then I forgot the other name of the other one. Run over here so I can do the point. Couple more to go. Then I will, after I drop these tankers off, if I can get them all off, that would be great, as far as the ones that I'm dropping off here. I have WCD, which is on the way out. There's some cars there, but I'm going to grab these other tanks with me, head out with them, stop, disconnect them, deal with the WCD cars, and go back to the yard. I'm not running air in the cars because they are heavy, or they were. The full ones are. I don't want to deal with air. I'm trying to drop them off. But I didn't want to be a Notch 7 coming backwards, but I was. All right, so that switch is good. We're going to push these back just a little bit to get rid of these other tankers. All these cars delivered when we're done. So let's see, those are straight. That switch is still good. Graphics, I got these off the enhancement Discord, and they look, they're sharp. These, I don't know if these are the new models or not, but they look pretty dang good. You have to be standing on the ground. I found that if you're in the air, then trying to click knuckles is a pain in the butt. But also, you see me like trying to click cars for handbrakes. Sometimes I miss, and there's another car next to it. Wants to, you know, on the other track, it tries to connect to that. Yeah, if you hit, I think it's F12 on the keyboard. Shift F12 to fly, and then F12 to stand. So you have to be hit F12 and then see if you can click the knuckles. And doing that, I lost command of my train here, so came to a stop. Got plenty of track for these two. I think that might be the last one or the one before it. Yeah, on the server too, you know how like you can fly fly around. Oh, there were more than I thought. You fly around, but on the multiplayer, I can't throw this switch if I'm not standing on the ground like you can in single player. So I always have to go and step on the ground to throw that, and I didn't want to do that anyways. All right, so here's the last San Diego car. I didn't derail myself, which was good. Diego. Should be pretty good. All right, so let's keep coming back so we can clear the tracks. We might have one or two too many tankers or where we want to put them. Take a look. Yep. Can't. Track over here is not going to be available for industry. Oh, I got some APC cars here anyways. Those don't go with these. I didn't see them in the middle before. So we'll see if we can get these APCs in here as well. There's no other ones up here. See how far back we can get these. All right. So, I'm going to peel off APC. They're empty, so they should be not too heavy. How much room we got here? Good there. Clearance. Coming on back a little bit to release the pressure off the coupler. All right. So now we're on the ground. Now manipulate the knuckles and the switches. And we will see, we'll ride this back. I'll do a countdown timer as soon as I get clear here just to see. Well, it doesn't really matter because I have other cars on behind the locomotives. So my distance won't matter. I just want to get as many of these tankers in here as I can. And since I got those two off, I thought those were the excess ones, but got to clear this switch too. We'll see what we have when we get there. We'll deal with whatever we need to. Take full ones back to the yard. Been cold here all day, and all of a sudden the sun comes out. Now the flies are out, flying around me. They got the door open for the dog to go in and out. Still wearing my hoodie because it was overcast all day here in SoCal, and the weather here says 80. It's 74. It's close enough. Let's look at this heads up here so we can see how fast we're going from back here. Put myself on the ground. Watch a little bit better. And I want to probably stop it somewhere around here. Gives me a little leeway when myself or somebody else is connecting these back to get them out of here. Go back up to the front now and let's disconnect. Hey, oh, we had plenty of room. Right. Put another one on. Not going to hurt nothing. All right. Stand on the ground. Yellow, so let me come back so I can get the pressure off the coupler. Into slack. All right, let's go the other way. That's why I give myself plenty of room with that bumper. I want to push stuff into in the back there. And then now we're going to grab these tankers and pull them forward, disconnect before we drop off these guys, boxcars in front of me. See what's our weight now? So now we're at 1,300 tons. I didn't pay special attention to what it was before I looked at HPT, but significantly lighter now that we don't have all those whole tanker cars on us. So these two APCs, well, I gotta watch it, but I think, let's see, if I look at the map, show you guys the map. Gotta go back down to Malabar. So APC, so it's DCC on the way out. So APC is actually the one that's, I have to go on the main to get to it. And that'll be right down, let's see, over here somewhere, right there. It's towards, back towards Hobart, so I actually have to come down main 2 and then switch, actually here, and then switch back down, and then shove in, and then come back up, and then go back to here. That's the only one that's not easy to get to, simple to get to from Malabar. It's some back and forth stuff. There's usually only 1 or 2 cars that go there, though. A little bit more juice. Okay, we got it. Surf is going to couple up. Okay, now we're going to go forward to the next industry. Our tonnage right now, we're at 2189. So now we're going to push these boxcars back here. We pass this point. Got a road crossing ahead, so I'll put the brights on and the crossing bell. I also want to stop these tankers back here. All right, so once we get to somewhere in here, we'll come to a stop. Put the handbrakes on these guys. Deal with this, and then pick those up back on the way to the yard. I missed it. Trying to push the button and I'm missing. All right, we got the clearance though. Come back just a tad bit and we'll decouple, pull forward, throw that switch, shove them. And there again, maybe too many for the track that we're on, so we will deal with that as well. Here we go. Sergio, hello. Hello from Argentina. Say hello from Southern California. To Argentina. We're here in Los Angeles at ATSF Malabar Yard, delivering some supplies to the locals here. I think we're what, LAC 0112 out of Malabar. There's two locals that run out of Malabar, 0112 and 0122. The 22 runs just past the yard to the places that are down a little ways from it, but all out of the same yard. We're gonna get off the boxcars here that we can. Without smashing into that thing if possible. We'll grab these on the way out, or we should be fine. I think it'll fit. And it just a little bit closer. I have some room. And I'll put there's already a handbrake on that one. I don't remember putting that one on. That's why it's so hard to pull. If I touch it, it's not a big deal. But if I hit it hard, that whole train could disappear. We'd rather just not touch it if we don't have to. Okay, ASL, so WCD, that's a little close. This is too close here. See if we can get it in there without touching anything. We should be fine there. Come back just a little bit to release the pressure. Go forward and get these other ones. Weak. All right, so those are San Diego. I'm trying to figure out how I want to get these guys. These are for the local here. Those are processed, and all those are, except for these two, are processed. So I'm going to go forward a little bit more. I'm going to get these tankers with these. Keep these locals together. Just going to take these two tankers off, and then I'll go get the empties. All right. Fill them off. Grab those box cars. Actually, I want just those, the ones in the end. Because I want to keep these San Diego ones together. As I mentioned, there's 3 cars in the very rear that are for outbound, where these are going, I think. I don't even know if those are San Diego. I should have looked. So Bell. Okay, so they're kind of going to the same place as those 3 tankers at the end. So I'll take this whole set with me. And then I'll just attach these cars at the end to here. That way I have the San Diegos together. I can split those later. I have all the locals together, San Diegos together, and then the stuff that's going off map outbound together. This is why I like doing the yard work, because you get these kinds of challenges that you get to figure out how you want to do it. As long as the cars get collected and stay together, you don't have to do some extra work if you don't need to. To me, that's what's fun about it. Okay, so am I lined to pick up those? Yeah, it's a lot more fun. So I've done other live streams here. A couple weeks ago, I did one with the Lazy Farmer. We were playing together on this server. I've done a few with Hound, where one is the engineer, the other is the conductor, kind of calling things out. It is fun playing with other players. It's difficult when you're streaming because you got to make sure that the microphones are all of the same, volume and stuff. So I don't usually just say, hey, you want to play with me live, because I'm streaming it. If I'm screwing around in the server, I'll play with anybody, but when I go live, I have to be selective. Otherwise, the quality of audio and stuff when you guys are trying to listen gets crazy. But this whole game, this whole sim, 10 times more fun when you're playing with other people. So, I mean, we have AI moving stuff around. and then players are moving things around all at the same time. So again, we do have a server here that we're a beginner-ish server, meaning you don't have to know everything. Just have to know enough to make your train go and stop, and some of the things that I was telling you about earlier, so that you can kind of know just a little about what you're doing. And then most importantly, we don't crash the server. So that's the biggest worry that we have. And if you can do that, then I encourage you to apply and join us. Check you out just to make sure that you can do those things. I come right back up where I came from here. And then everything else we can learn together. You know, you can learn with us from what we've learned, and you have people that are real conductors, real engineers that we play with as well. It's all about having fun. Learn a little bit more. So you take it from just watching trains to kind of operating them, and you get to see all some of the challenges that happen. I mean, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark, and biggest thing we did was deliver those tankers and a couple boxcars. It took that long just to deliver, 24 cars. Very time consuming. You have to have plenty of time to do it before you set off on it. That's another reason I like the yard work, because I can start and stop anytime that I think I need to, as long as I'm not blocking the main line. I do have Railroader, and I have played it as well. I think I'm on day 12 or 15 or something. And it's a whole different type of game, just like you're saying. Railroader is more of a game. This is more of a sim. The best part of this, again, is playing not necessarily always with somebody else, but in the vicinity of other people. But you also have the option of playing with other people, working together and doing this. So, yeah, this is really good stuff. I also do Farming Simulator, but I don't stream that really, because we just go around and mess around and mowing grass and plowing, and there isn't a whole lot of brain activity required for doing it on a video game, But it's definitely relaxing. I do on Sundays. Unless I go out of town for a trip, Sunday at between 3 and 4, I almost always go at 4, but this week I decided to do it a little bit earlier than I normally do, by 30 minutes. So yeah, I will be on Memorial Weekend. I'm not going anywhere that I'm aware of. That's the 26th, the last day of the month in May. So let's see, I brought San Diego. I'm just going to leave all these connected here. Put on some handbrakes. I want to leave this for the next person that decides to work here, because I don't know when I'm coming back. I am the yard master for the BNSF San Bernardino sub. So all these yards that are BNSF here in the Los Angeles area, in the Riverside area, the Orange County area, for BNSF, the yard master for, and all that means is that I get to check on them and make sure everybody else gets the help that they need when I can. But I really don't have much time to do anything, so kind of limited. You're from La Mirada, and I was an Orange County guy, so I was born and raised in Orange County. I am currently in the Riverside San Bernardino area, whereby San Bernardino and the West Colton yards. They're just down the street from both of those. I grew up in Anaheim. All right, so we've accomplished a major part of the task, which was really just get 2 industries delivered in the 2 hours, and that's about all we could get done today. You know, it takes a lot of time to do this stuff. And now it's time to call it a day. We got to go to work this week, and I was out of town, like I said, in Texas last week, so I got to get back on schedule of going back to work and prepare for the early mornings that I get up and work and everything. So that means that Simulator Sunday is going to come to a close for this Sunday. I will, however, be back next Sunday, and most likely next Sunday is Mother's Day. Make sure you tell your moms you love them. And I will be here 4 o'clock, I believe, Mother's Day, unless my wife changes that. I don't think she's going to. We'll take care of her, celebrate with her before. And then on Wednesday night, I missed last week, but Wednesday night, the 8th, every Wednesday night, 5 p.m., do a Super Mega Baseball 3 commentate. I commentate the game while I play it. Custom teams I play. That's on Twitch. 5 p.m. on the West Coast every Wednesday, unless I'm out of town. So we'll see you next, most likely on the 12th. If I don't show up, well, you know why. It was Mother's Day, but I don't think that it's later in the evening, so, or 4 o'clock. So I will be here as far as I know, and if not, for sure, the 19th and the 26th, which is Memorial Weekend. We will be back. So I bid everybody a great week. Starting to get hot out here in Southern California, so I'm going to enjoy the last few days of all the weather that we have. But meantime, we'll see you Wednesday on Twitch or next Sunday. Yeah, practice and practice the videos that I put up there, and then let us know when you're ready for a little quick check ride to make sure that you're ready to join the server. All right, guys. Guys, take care, and we'll see you on the next one.